Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Budgeting for Future. Today we will be doing our budget with me for March 12th to March 25th. I am really excited to do this budget with me today. We just got done meeting about what our plans are for the next few months in terms of our budget and meeting some of our financial goals, and we have decided that we're gonna start being a little bit more aggressive with some of our debts, which will very much be reflective in this budget. Just to give you kind of a background, my name is Aaliyah. I'm married to my husband, Adam, and we have a 1-year-old daughter, Aurelia, and we do live in the Midwest in the United States. So do keep that in mind when you're looking at this budget and our numbers. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into this thing. The first we'll tackle is our income. We do both work full time, and I also have a side hustle on top of that, which I think this will be the last paycheck where you're gonna really see that reflected in the budget because it is almost done. My husband should be receiving right around $1,517.21. I should be getting from my regular job $1,437.81. That is an estimated number because I have done quite a bit of overtime recently, and I did estimate how much I will probably be paid for that. It might be a little high, it might be a little low. We'll definitely see when our paychecks actually hit our bank account. And then in terms of my side hustle, like I was saying, I'm expecting to receive $388 this pay period, and I review applications for a local university, and I should be pretty much done with application review. I've got like 2 to do this week, so that's barely any work at all. So I don't think we'll be seeing this very much in the next few paychecks. So that'll be kind of a bummer, but I'm also kind of excited to have a little bit more free time to work on my hobbies and get more sleep. All right, next we can jump into our fixed expenses. These are our expenses that really don't change typically. They change per paycheck. So like some weeks we have to pay our gas bill, some weeks we have to pay our internet, but other than that, we know that they're gonna come eventually. They're all regular bills, and we have a really good idea of what they're gonna end up costing us. So the first is our mortgage. We do pay every 2 weeks for our mortgage. We just make half of a payment every 2 weeks. So the first thing on here will be that, and it will be $729.58. The actual mortgage payment is closer to like $1,459, in case you're wondering about what our actual mortgage bill looks like. Next, we do have our internet that we will be having to pay for. This has gone up. In fact, it was supposed to go up really, really high. I think like $70 or $80, because apparently we were in a plan where we were bundled with cable, which we don't use any of our cable, and it was like 12 channels. So it's one of those times where you're like, does it even count? Like 12 really? And I ended up calling, and they told me that if I got faster internet, they could get me into a intro package that was cheaper than the slower internet with the cable that I wasn't using. So it's going up a little bit from $45 to $50, but I am pretty happy about making that call and having them figure that out for us. It was definitely really appreciated, and the customer service person was really nice. Next is our daycare. We do have 4 days a week daycare for our daughter because there's just no way we could work from home and have her here at home. She is an absolute handful at her age, and we love her very much, but she's got to go to daycare. So we pay $360 every 2 weeks for that. And next we will go ahead and talk about the debt that we plan on paying off. I keep it in our fixed expenses section just because we do have a fixed expense of paying once every 2 weeks at about $400 typically, but we've decided that with all those windfalls that we're getting this year between the stimulus check that has just passed the Senate and will probably become law, and the fact that we have saved up more for our taxes than we ended up needing, so we'll have some extra money there. And we're also selling some stocks. We've decided that we really just want to get rid of this car loan. Right now it has $7,350 left on it, and I think we might be able to tackle it in the next 2 months, but I'm just ready to get it out of my life. It's a 0% interest rate because it is a loan to a family member, but like, I don't know if you've ever owed family money. It's not fun. They're very nice about it, but you kind of feel just a little bit more guilty that like you borrowed money and now you're having to pay it back, especially because we borrowed so much from them. So definitely, if you've ever owed a family member money, let me know. Was it a good experience for you? Like, overall, it's been a good experience for us, but it just is uncomfortable in like the weirdest of ways. So I'm ready for it to be done, and we are going to put $1,000 towards our car loan in this pay period, which I'm just super excited about. That'll bring us down to $6,350, and after that I think we'll be cooking and ready to take on the rest of it. Next are our variable expenses. I do like to try and change these up every once in a while to see if we can stretch our budget a little bit more, or if we have other plans, like we will be traveling this pay period, so we'll be putting a little bit of extra money into our gas. These will change a little bit more, obviously, depending on what we're doing. They're also the categories where when I do my cash envelope stuffing videos, it's mostly these variable expenses and then any of our savings and sinking funds. So the first of our variable expenses is going to be groceries. Last pay period, I did end up having our groceries. We budgeted $225, which I think we're going to stick to if everything keeps going well this week, hopefully. But I do think we're gonna bring it back up to $250. It just feels like a better number. I don't think we're like needing to really restrict in that area. So I'm gonna be conscious of it and try and obviously keep it lower than $250. But between obviously meals for my husband and I and trying to figure out what our daughter likes, like there's whole days where she'll just throw her meal on the floor and then we have to find her a new one. So she doesn't quite understand that she's literally throwing her money on the floor because she doesn't speak English. But yeah, I just thought it would be best to keep it at this, and maybe even every other 2 weeks, every other budget, maybe changing it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you change this category a lot? I would love to know. I feel more self-conscious of our grocery budget, if that makes sense. Like, I was watching someone else's channel the other day. I think it was Unsavvy Budgeter. I'll link her down below because I really enjoyed her video. And she's new to YouTube, so like props to you. I subscribed so fast, it was crazy. But I was looking at her grocery budget and it was way lower than ours, and I just wanted to be like, what's your magic? Tell me what you did. I think she's a family of 2, so obviously that changes things a little bit, but they, I think, have a much smaller grocery budget. So yeah, I would love to know. I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. And definitely check out her channel that I'll be linking down below. Next is gas. Like I said, we do have to travel across state this pay period. I have a bridal shower I have to go to on the other side of the state. So normally we budget $40 for gas. This time around, we're gonna budget $80. And then next we're going to do out to eat. We do plan on just keeping this category our standard $150, and hopefully we'll stick to that. We're doing pretty well this pay period, so that's exciting, but I don't want to restrict it even more, because if I did that and my husband saw the budget, he would be wondering why. He definitely enjoys going out to dinner and spending that quality time together in that way. So it's a little bit of a harder category to restrict. I know some people will have like $100 for the whole month, and that is like props to them. That's awesome. Next are our fund monies. We do give each other each $100 every pay period for any miscellaneous expenses, and also, you know, just general fund money. These are the categories where if we need new clothes, we'll typically pull from that. We did have to buy a gift for the bridal shower that I'm going to, so we split the cost of the gifts between all three of us, and that was the money that we used for that. So it's kind of those flex categories that we all have in our individual names, and we decide if we want to contribute to something or we don't. The first one is my husband's fund money account. I'll be putting $100 in there for him. The next is mine, and again, I'll also get $100. And then to wrap us up, my daughter will also get $100. And she's finally done drinking formula. She just turned 13 months yesterday, and my husband said he was done giving her formula. And he's the major, you know, lunch maker of the family. So it's official. Hopefully she'll be able to save up even more money now that she's not having to use fund money to pay for her formula. So that'll be really exciting for everyone. Maybe we'll be able to contribute a little bit more to her 529 plan because we don't really have that big expense. I never knew how expensive formula was until obviously we had her, and it is just, wow, so freaking expensive. So it'll be nice to see that expense leave our life. And now that we've kind of wrapped up our main budget of our just general spending, we're gonna go ahead and look into our sinking funds that we have. All right, great. So I did just set up our sinking funds page so that you didn't have to watch me do all of that. I also put up in the right hand corner exactly how much money we have to use in our savings and sinking funds this pay period. Obviously, normally we have a little bit more money because typically we are just kind of slow, aggressively paying off that car loan, but since it is taking up $1,000 this pay period, we have a little bit less to work with, but nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead and just jump into exactly how we go about figuring out which savings funds and sinking funds to focus on. We always start off our budget by putting $40 into our phone sinking fund because we do pay for our phone bill annually. It does have to be split every single paycheck by $40, and then we'll have enough at the end of the year. So that is pretty standard for us. In terms of our pets, that's kind of where we go next. And recently I've been just doing $30, and I'm gonna keep doing that. We haven't yet, since actually budgeting for them, had to pull from their category, but we will really soon. And so we are trying to kind of figure this category out still, but it's really important that we save up money for them every single pay period because of the fact that this is the money that we use to buy their cat litter and their cat food, any treats, toys, anything like that, and leftover money will go towards any vet bills that might come up. Next is Christmas. Since we did have extra money in the budget, we did decide to put $30 there, which is pretty standard. When we have extra money, we will typically put at least $30 into Christmas. We also are gonna put $25 into maintenance. Now this is for car maintenance or house maintenance, whatever maintenance really comes up in our life. And we recently aggressively saved up $500 in this category and are getting some work done on our car. And now that we don't really have a specific goal in mind, we're gonna go ahead and just resort back to $25. Clothes, since we did have money in the budget, we put $20 there. Same with vacation. We have no plans to go on vacation, but we do want to at least keep it on our budget, and maybe when we start planning for something, we will at least have some money to get us started. We definitely haven't traveled out of state since the lockdowns first started in March, and then outside of that, we've only really traveled to family every once in a while. So no vacations recently and no vacations planned. I don't think my husband's even interested, but it is something I at least want represented in my budget, so I keep it there for us. And then furniture, we're gonna go ahead and just put $10 in there. We're not saving up for any furniture plans, but we at least want to slowly save for something because I do know that there are items that we're interested. We're just not like needing them right away. Especially since we have other goals that we're working on between, paying off that car, our school. Then after we kind of focused on these categories, we take what we have left over and see what we need to do in terms of taxes, our rental / our savings challenge, and then my school fund, as well as contributing to our Roth IRA. Now, we, like I said earlier in the video, don't need to save up anymore for taxes. In fact, our tax money that we've saved up is actually more than what we'll pay, so that'll be really exciting. We'll be able to redistribute that money once we paid that tax bill. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a good old 0 there. In terms of the rental, we did decide to start doing a savings challenge, and I will grab that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I made this cute little printable. It's on my Etsy shop. You can see the link down below if you just want to take a peek at it. It costs $1 and it downloads. It's a downloadable, so you can get it right away. And what we do is we choose a heart every single pay period and then color around it so you can kind of see what I did there. And we decided that the next one that we're going to choose is $85. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, $85. So we'll get to color that in when we do our next cash stuffing, because that's when we put that money into that actual envelope. We did choose $85 for this paycheck. We're probably going to keep choosing small numbers for our savings challenge until we get that car loan paid off, because I'm just so ready to have it out of our life. The next area that we focused on was our IRA. Now, we do have the goal of saving up 14% of our income from employers for our retirement. And we cover about 9% with just our traditional 401ks, and then everything outside of that we put into our IRA. We haven't recently been contributing to it because we were a little over the 14%. At one point, I think we were all the way up to like 15.5%. So now we are coming in to being closer to that 14% target. And so to keep us on track, we are going to be putting $150 into our Roth IRA this pay period. And then after all of that, I put the rest of the money we had left over into my school sinking account. That is for my Master's of Business Administration program. And left over, we had $205.75. And that will wrap up our budget with me. If you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you would like to see more from my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I would absolutely love to have you here. And definitely comment down below if you have any thoughts on anything I talked about today. Well, have a great rest of your day. Bye.